Welcome to another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist. I am your host, Dennis Richkovsky. Some of you recognize me as the co-owner of Flip Flops Donuts, and some of you know me as your broker of real estate who specializes in waterfront and water view properties along the Crystal Coast, especially on Bow Banks and in my town of Emerald Isle, North Carolina. On this channel, you will find essential information from the inside scoops on buying and selling houses to how to live with the ocean, rivers, and sounds that define the Crystal Coast. Today's episode is all about how one can vote in the next general election on November 8th in the state of North Carolina. Whether you visit here occasionally or live here full-time, getting out to vote in the next general election is a story worth telling. Before I begin, please subscribe to my video channel now or at the end of this episode. So how do I vote in North Carolina? First, you must be registered to vote. And to register in North Carolina, you must be a citizen of the United States. You must live in the county where you are registering, and you must have resided there for at least 30 days prior to the date of the election. And you must be 18 years old by the day of the next election. So now that you are registered to vote in North Carolina, you can vote in person and by mail. And how do I vote in person? For starters, you can vote on Election Day. This year, that will be on Tuesday, November 8th. And if you are uncertain where to vote on Election Day, go to the wt.ncsbe.gov, the website for the North Carolina State Board of Elections. Here, you can look up your assigned polling place, and this assigned polling place is the only place you can vote on Election Day. Alternatively, you can vote early in this great state of North Carolina. The early voting period for the 2022 general election begins on Tuesday, October 20th at 8 a.m. and ends at 3 p.m. on Saturday, November 5th. During early voting, you may cast a ballot at any one of the early voting sites in your county. In Carteret County, where I live, there are 3 early voting places. They are the Carteret County Board of Elections office at 1702 Live Oak Street in Beaufort, the Fort Benjamin Park at 100 McQueen Avenue in Newport, and Western Park at 275 Old Highway 58 in Cedar Point. Beginning Thursday, October 20th, all 3 early voting places will be open weekdays, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. through Friday, November 4th. Additionally, all 3 polling places will open on Saturday, November 5th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. When you check in to vote at one of your early voting sites, you can update your name or address within the same county if necessary. You may also choose to cast an absentee ballot. And if you are not registered, you may register and vote immediately at that same site. Unsure of your registration status? Go back to that website, wt.ncsbe.gov, and enter your information into the vote search engine at the North Carolina State Board of Elections website. When voting in person, if you have voted in North Carolina before, you don't need to show ID to vote. That's because the North Carolina Supreme Courts have ruled that the photo ID law violates North Carolina's Constitution. There is one exception, however. For you first-time voters, if you did not put your North Carolina driver's license number or the last 4 digits of your Social Security number On your registration application, you will be required to show proof of identification. And that proof of identification includes current and valid photo identification or a current utility bill, bank statement, government check, paycheck, or other government document that shows your name and address. Didn't bring your ID? Not to worry. If you are a first-time voter and you don't have an ID, you will still be able to vote a provisional ballot so long as you bring one of those items or documents to the Board of Elections in your county prior to the date of the general election. How do I vote by mail? As a North Carolina registered voter, you may request, receive, and vote a mail-in absentee ballot. No special circumstance or reason is needed. The first step is to request an absentee ballot with an official North Carolina absentee ballot request form. There are two ways to access and submit this form. The first is to go online and request an absentee ballot through the North Carolina absentee ballot portal at votebymail.ncsbe.gov. Your request is sent to your County Board of Elections office, and when ballots are available for the election, your ballot will be mailed to the address you have provided. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is 5 p.m. the Tuesday before Election Day. If you are active military or you are a U.S. citizen outside the United States, the deadline for requesting an absentee ballot is 5 p.m. the day before Election Day. While on the portal, you may also view a sample ballot showing the contests and candidates specific to your residency. You may also download and practice marking a sample ballot. Remember, however, that this is only a sample and it is not your official ballot. The second way to request an absentee ballot is to fill out a North Carolina absentee ballot request form for 2022. You can download and print the form online or pick up a hard copy application at your County Board of Elections. Whichever option you select, fill out the paper application completely and submit your request to your local election office. Again, your ballot will be mailed to the address you provided on your application. All you absentee voters, please note, you may not return your absentee ballot to a polling place on Election Day. I urge every registered voter to vote in this next general election. Too many people have made the ultimate sacrifice to preserve your right to vote. Do not disparage or belittle their sacrifices. Honor their sacrifices by voting on Election Day or during early voting or by mail. Do not be taken in by all the nonsense being spewed about fake ballots and fraudulent elections. After all, even Donald Trump's Homeland Security Department said that the 2020 election was the most secure in our country's history. On that note, states should be encouraged to take steps to expand voting dates, not shrink them. After all, in a democracy, everyone should have the opportunity for his or her vote to matter. Every vote counts, especially yours. Just do it. Vote. To learn more about the upcoming general election, subscribe to my newsletter by texting your email address to 919-308-2292. And subscribe to Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist on YouTube. Or sign up for my blog on my website, www.eihomesforsale.com. So stay well and stay safe. Come on down. please subscribe to my channel below and definitely return next week to the same bat channel at the same bat time of 9 a.m. on Thursday for another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist.